This is a KIM Inc. exclusive.
Let's talk about the movie, Pregnant by the Pastor. How did it start? The movie Pregnant by the Pastor, how did it originate? Well, I hired a couple of photographers and a couple of models and had a few extras, rented a banquet room, and we were doing a photo shoot for the cover of a book. And I read three things, and that was that to sell a book, you have to capture the audience through the plot, the title, and the cover and back cover. So we focused on those things, and we wanted to draw an audience to purchase the book. Well, when the pictures came in, they had their own story. And so when I saw the pictures, I laid them out across my desk, and I saw the characters and the story that I was seeing. It was just so remarkable. I had to call everybody that was involved, and I called a meeting. I added to the meeting a music producer, a website designer, a photographer, and a camera guy. And I wanted them to see the story that I was seeing, and I really wanted to see if they could follow it. Well, when I finished going over the pictures and telling them the story that I was seeing, wow, they said this sounded like somebody's book or a story or something that really happened. And my next question was, if we did a movie, would they be interested in playing the characters? And they said yes. So because there's power in agreement, we proceeded on. The camera guy that was there at the meeting, he mentioned, he was like, this job is too big for me. And I was like, oh my God, you know. So he referred me to Roger Robinson, and I met with Roger. And as I was telling Roger the story that I was seeing with the pictures, I look up, Roger is still in a trance, and before I knew it, it rolled off my tongue, we'll name it Pregnant by the Pastor. And I was like, oh my God, did I just say that? I can't take it back at this point. It sounded too good, everything was just flowing, and that right there just put a stamp on this, him doing the story and filming the movie. So at this point, I'm stuck with the movie being titled Pregnant by the Pastor.
My initial meeting with SaTonya for discussing the storyline of the film. The best way that I can say that is excitement was all I could hear in her voice.
Meeting Ms. Ford, working with her has been an experience. And when I say experience, it is totally life-changing. She's got work ethics. She's real persistent. She makes things happen. Taking no for an answer does not exist in her book. And I really like that because it gives us applications that we can actually apply to life that will really change us and change how we view things and actually change the outcome of any circumstance, any situation.
What do I think about SaTonya Ford? Ambitious, courageous, filmmaker, Black, and beautiful.
I have really grown with SaTonya, just being there and experiencing everything that she's going through. It gives you such a rush. It makes you want to be a part of everything she's doing. She's such a leader in our market here in Arkansas. I'm seeing her do things that I've never seen other people do. You hear them talk about it. You hear them say they're going to be doing this, or they're going to be a part of this, or you need to be a part of this, and you go there and nothing ever pans out. Well, I've been with SaTonya just a short amount of time, and I believe in her. I've watched her go through some things in the short amount of time I've been with her, and she made me feel like, girl, you better come on. Like, you have to have passion, and you have to want to do things in order to work with SaTonya, because she has that passion.
SaTonya Ford, good friend of mine. Been knowing her about 6 years now through my family. Just a wonderful person, smart, just business oriented. honored to, to be a part of this project. It's really, it's just wonderful.
So I am S1 Young of Artists United. I'm an actor, playwright, and producer. And I am here just to talk about a phenomenal woman in the person of the filmmaker, SaTonya Ford. When I first heard about Pregnant by the Pastor, I was like, whoa, who is this? Who is this who has this tenacity or the gall to even bring up such a subject that can be so sensitive? She has been a phenomenal person in the rights of her writing skills, and her producing skills, and for her to be someone from a town such as Little Rock, Arkansas. Who would have ever thought that she would reach the goals that she's reached by her faith? She's definitely a woman of faith, definitely a woman of great character, and she's definitely an awesome, awesome writer.
The story is so expansive. This would have made a great anything. It's one of those projects that transcends. You can't box it and say, well, there are some projects that only will be in a book, or there's some projects that will only be a play, or there's some projects that will only be in video. This was a project that would make a terrific stage play. It makes the story is a fantastic movie. The bottom line is that it had substance. It had substance. It was something that was relatable. It was something that I can only speak from my experience in the Black community, okay? And when I say that, the story was something that was relatable to me. Not that I've had the personal experience of this particular scenario, but it is not uncommon. I am not totally unfamiliar with the concept of this particular project.
Pregnant by the Pastor, I think, needs to be in every household. I think there needs to be sequel after sequel after sequel, because from some of the other supposedly faith-based movies that I've seen, they cater to problems, but they stop there. They don't give a solution. And the way this movie is done, it really allows us to think. And it's really awesome when we find out that the problem is not just the pastor, but the problem can be ourselves and how we see things, how we view things, how we hear things, how we research things out. And with this movie, I think that everybody that don't get it will actually miss something grand in this lifetime.
This is someone's reality. It may be many someone's reality. And that, to me, was what makes this project a winner. What will make it a winner as not only a big screen project, but as a television series or a play, a traveling play. This is the type of project that is broad enough and has the core foundation that you can build a multi-tiered whatever you want to build on it. That's what I like about the project.
Pregnant by the Pastor, that title has so much strength to it, to where I started getting phone calls from everybody coming up with ideas just for this title of the movie. So, I mean, I had so many ideas on what to do with it because the storyline is so expandable and the movie has so much life to it. I actually can see it living 10 years. So I went and trademarked the title.
Now, this was funny to me. When SaTonya told me how she came up with the idea, she wrote a book, of course, but there was a photo shoot. And the photo shoot was supposed to be for the cover of the book. She got all the pictures, and she said that these pictures started telling the story. And she pulled out, she had a notebook with photographs, and she started pulling them out. Okay, this and this and this, and she's telling me all the scenes. It was like this photo shoot actually was a storyboard, and she worked from that. And I don't know if you want to call that insightful. I don't know if you want to call it genius. I don't know if you want to call it intuitive. Whatever label you put on it, everything that she said, I could see. And that is the critical part of storytelling. When you can say some words, when you can tell a story and have people to go, ooh, oh, ooh, I knew, ooh. That's the difference. That's when you know that you have not only a talent, but I'm going to call it a gift, because not everyone can do that.
I could say that I was captured from the first scene. I watched the movie over and over and over again. I wanted to know all the lines. I wanted to know all the characters' names. I wanted to know what the storyline was doing. After I watched it at home several times, I was like, okay, let me take this to work. And I took the movie to work, and when I got the movie to work, oh my gosh, like all my clients was watching it. They wanted to take it home. I was like, no, you gotta get your own copy. I told them where they could find it. When they came back for touch-ups or whatever, they wanted to watch it again. So once I saw the movie, and I wanted everybody that I knew or know to see the movie too, because I just felt like the movie was so great, and I was so proud that someone from Arkansas had done this movie.
In my younger years, I was a little goofy. And, I wrote the character Ty Simpson. And as I was writing Ty Simpson character, I was laughing the whole time I was creating him. And it was just so funny because I knew that people was gonna really respond to this particular character with laughter. And when I was in the theater, as they were watching his parts play on the big screen, they were laughing. And so I knew that that goal was accomplished.
I think it was a very courageous thing that SaTonya decided to actually put together such a film, and with such a creative title. I think it was a story that was kind of right in your face, if you will.
Pregnant by the pastor. Okay, already, when you hear those words, you're thinking of, wow, in your mind, you already have a face associated with it. Whoever you are, you already have a face associated with who that pastor is. You may even have a face associated with who the person who's pregnant is. I mean, just that you want to know just based on the title, okay, is that a choir member? Is it somebody on the deaconess board or whatever it is? Is it, okay, is the pastor married and this is his mistress? Or it already has you going. So when she told me the name, I'm thinking, okay, that's it. It's done. People are going to see it. People are going to watch it. People are going to ask for it based on the name, period.
There were so many good characters in this movie, so many relatable characters in this movie. Watching the movie, I knew that there were many characters that many people were going to be able to relate to. There were plenty of characters that we all knew. I knew that there were going to be many people were going to be able to say, wait a minute, I know that person. Is she talking about this person, or is this such and such at the church, or is this the deacon at the church, or oh my gosh. So watching the characters develop in the movie was very interesting. It was very relatable. Many of my clients would tell me let me watch it again. I think I heard that line before. I think my pastor said that before. Or I think the preacher's wife, I know she was talking about, I know who she's talking about. I know this gotta be somebody's story that we know. So watching the characters develop, it really made you wanted to be a part of the movie. It actually drawed you into the movie as if you were one of the characters because you knew somebody who was this person that you were watching on screen.
Danielle Wheeler, she's a successful attorney. Life happened to her. And she's orchestrated things in her life to where it would work for her in maintaining her privacy. And a lot of successful people do that. But with Danielle, her secret is about to come out. And it's very interesting what's gonna happen with Danielle because a lot of things are unfolding with Danielle. Now with Pastor Norman is the New Day and Time pastor. I didn't say that. Let me scratch that. Pastor Norman was a gullible pastor. And he is a pastor that had to learn along the way. And he wanted to accept his calling because that's what he was told. You know, that he was a pastor. He was told that he was called to preach. And so Pastor Norman, he wanted to accept the calling that God had given him. And so he's having to learn some things along the way. Now the character Brian Brown, he's desperate. Brian is very interesting, and it's very interesting some things is gonna be taking place with him. And the First Lady, Beverly Norman, she's a very interesting character. And it's gonna be interesting watching her, watch what's gonna happen with her as the story unfolds. Lonnie Nimmer, who haven't met a Lonnie Nimmer? Lonnie Nimmer is so bullified till it's ridiculous. You find people that, you know, that always try to strong arm you or manipulate you. He's gonna be very interesting. And so you guys, a lot of people, everybody like Lonnie Nimmer. He reminds everybody of the Suge Knight. Put it like that.
I'm glad I did it. I appreciate SaTonya Ford for her vision. I appreciate the people who were sticking with it because, well, there were some people who had ideas of where it should go, and some of those people just didn't make the cut.
I was just really impressed, and I'm just excited to get a chance to see part 2, which will be the aftermath. She's filming it now, and like I said, I'm excited about seeing that movie and being a part of that movie and seeing how far that movie can go. Because Pregnant by the Pastor is really doing good. It's a movie that you should go see. I recommend you go see that movie right now. You know the name of it, you know how to find it. You can buy it, you can download it. You need to see that movie. It's a great movie, really great movie. You should go see that.
This project actually took on a life of its own. At the end of it, I really thought that going into this, that it was going to be just something that she wanted to do that might air on YouTube, you know, maybe go to DVDs. And even though she was saying a movie, my thought was, all right, yeah, everybody says movie. But I had never met Miss Ford until we started this project. And now I can tell you that if SaTonya Ford says she's gonna do something, if you're smart, you won't bet against her.